front of them during prayer.
But you see now, you have to face east.
East?
When you're praying. And then men in the front, women in the back.
Yeah.
And
Why is that?
because
What would happen if I snuck to the front?
no, you can't go to the front because I think you should start why a woman should wear a scarf. A woman is more than a diamond.
Do we have to move on, or do we have to stop?
No, we've actually had a complaint from the imam in the mosque.
Really?
The imam
Yes.
complained.
Yep.
Oh, about what have we done?
That you're harassing the congregation here.
No, harassing.
Well,
Katie Hopkins did what most journalists are too scared to do. She went inside America's largest mosque with a hidden camera to see what's really being taught. What she uncovered wasn't some peaceful, moderate paradise. It was the same old attitudes, wrapped in friendly packaging, and it should terrify anyone who cares about Western values.
This is the largest mosque in America, in the heart of Dearborn, Detroit. It's called the Islamic Center of America. And for the thousands of people who worship here, it's a place of prayer, visited up to 5 times a day. How many people come usually, say?
I don't know.
Like at prayer time, like 1,000 or 100 or?
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
Yeah, on a Friday prayer.
I'm allowed inside this massive facility as long as I abide by certain preconditions. I have to cover my head as laid down by Sharia law. I have to stay with my guide. I must be accompanied by him, and I'm not allowed out of his company. And thirdly, I'm not allowed to document anything I see here. I'm not allowed to take evidence of what I observe.
This mosque was built in 2005 because by Imam Shiri was the original Imam who started
Imam
the mosque.
Shiri.
So this is the history of you can say that we have the mosque started. This is Imam Shiri, this is Muhammad Ali Clay. This is Imam Shiri.
Is that Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, that's Muhammad Ali. Jesse Jackson, and you see the President Carter.
This mosque is a sprawling facility and can accommodate 3,000 people when full. Its minarets are nearly 10 stories tall, and it's been visited by some very powerful political players and celebrities.
You have a lot of other presidents.
What other presidents have we got? You might have to help me. Just signed picture from George Bush, and that's the Iraqi president.
Where?
I'm just visiting with Iraqi president in 1961.
Yeah. And you see that one over there?
Yes.
Is Jamal Abdel Nasser is the president of Egypt, you remember?
This mosque is a gigantic.
Katie walks into the massive Islamic Center of America in Dearborn, Detroit. The place is huge, expensive, and clearly built to make a statement. She's forced to cover her head per Sharia rules, stay glued to her guide, and not film freely. This isn't some small local mosque. It's a major foothold in the heart of America, visited by politicians and celebrities. On the surface, it looks welcoming, but the rules she has to follow already reveal the control underneath. Places like this are sold as moderate Islam in the West, yet they still enforce the same basic separations and restrictions you see in far stricter countries.
Expensive foothold in America for the moderate Muslims that we always hear about. It's a place for people to stop by, to pray, to give speeches, and to preach to a wide congregation of people right here in Dearborn, Detroit. But even this moderate version of Islam still has remarkably backward attitudes when it comes to women. My host reveals that I would be required to be at the back of the room lest men were overcome with sexual urges with me in front of them during prayer.
But you see now, you have to face east.
East?
When you're praying. And then men in the front, women in the back.
Yeah.
And
Why is that?
because
What would happen if I snuck to the front?
no, you can't go to the front because I think you should start why a woman should wear a scarf. A woman is more than a diamond. She's valuable, very valuable, to the extent that in life, the eye sometimes goes different ways and different thoughts. So if a woman is in front of me and I'm praying, without me intending, my concentration will be on her. So my focus will not be right.
Got it.
The real red flag hits when her guide explains why women must pray at the back. He says it's because men might get distracted by sexual thoughts if women are in front. Katie lets that sink in. Think about it. In 21st century America, inside one of the biggest mosques, women are still treated as walking temptations that need to be hidden so men can focus on prayer. This isn't ancient history. This is current teaching in a major American mosque. The moderate version still sees women as potential sources of fitna, temptation, rather than equals. That attitude doesn't stay inside the mosque walls. It leaks into the wider community.
Also because when she go down and everything, there's a lot of postures that will not be appropriate for her.
This is the kind of sentiment that reminds me exactly why I'm here and what I'm fighting for an open society where women are treated as equals. In Islam, all women are sexual objects forced to drape themselves in cloth to stop men from thinking proscribed thoughts. It's a chilling echo of Sharia, where women are punished by death for exposing themselves to men. And it helps explain why in certain Muslim-controlled areas of Paris and London and Sweden, Western women are spat at or called white trash for not covering themselves. It seems like these thoughts that are taught in the mosque spill over onto our streets, despite us having Western laws in place to protect us. And that's what worries me about places like this, the Islamic Center of America. It is a kind of friendly, tolerant Islam, stripped of the barbarism of the Islamic extremists, and yet the underlying beliefs are taught and still.
Katie connects the dots perfectly. These ideas explain why we see honor killings, FGM, and street harassment in certain Muslim communities in the West. Even in moderate settings, the core belief that women must cover and be segregated to protect male self-control remains. It's chilling. Dearborn isn't some isolated radical enclave. It's often held up as an example of successful Muslim integration in America. If this is moderate, what does that say about the less moderate versions being imported?
There. And I think it helps explain much of the rise of things like honor killings and female genital mutilation, which we've seen occurring in places like Michigan. Abdul El-Sayed practices this kind of Islam, as do political pushers like Keith Ellison or Reza Aslan. They tell you there's nothing to fear. But I worry this is just the tip of the iceberg. And if you ask me what this means for the future of America, I'm terrified.
Katie leaves worried. And honestly, so am I. This mosque represents the friendly face of Islam in America. Big building, famous visitors, smiling guides. But underneath, the same regressive views on women, separation and control are being taught. We're told to celebrate diversity, yet when you look closer, some of that diversity brings attitudes that clash hard with Western ideas of equality and freedom. The constant demand for special rules while enjoying Western benefits is exhausting. Katie's hidden camera trip shows the gap between the public PR and the actual beliefs still being passed down. Do you think places like this mosque represent successful integration or a slow cultural shift? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. Meanwhile, Katie Hopkins isn't the only woman who took the bull by the horn. Here's a British journalist's experience in the heart of the biggest Muslim city in the UK.
Hey there. Okay, so I came out to Whitechapel in London to do some interviews in the area because it's a very multicultural area and we wanted to ask people what they thought the British culture was. Thought it would be an interesting place to do that. Because we were outside the mosque, we started having a guy follow us around with his cell phone and come up to us and basically say, like, you're not allowed to film here, which we perfectly are allowed to film here. It's a public street. The imam himself ended up calling the police on us for just interviewing people outside. We weren't harassing anyone. We weren't forcing them to do interviews. We were keeping the camera down, and the police came up to us and they had a million questions about what's your report about? Who do you work for? What questions are you asking? Like that's somehow relevant to what we're doing. And they're just waiting there. They're just waiting there in their police car as we stand here and ask people perfectly safe questions like, what does it mean to be British? Anyways, the police car is just sitting there and they're just waiting for us to get out of here.
Lauren and her team were just filming on a public street outside a mosque. They weren't harassing anyone. Yet a man started following them with his phone. This is the first red flag. In what used to be a normal British area, simply asking people about British identity near a mosque is treated like a threat. The locals' answers were telling too.
It means to be British.
To have the British passport, maybe? Yeah,
So you think it's just to have a British passport?
Yeah, I think, yeah. To be born here, yeah.
Think there's any like cultural aspects to being British?
No, because it's a multicultural country anyway, so you don't have to be a specific culture to be a British. You can be a British and anything else.
It's furries outside a mosque.
What does it mean to be British? I think, for me anyway, British is being multicultural, a society which is multicultural, accepting people of different beliefs, different backgrounds. Modern day Britain is not what it was 300 years ago, where it had its own unique cultures, but now it's a mix of cultures. Does that make sense? Right. Its food had to become mixed, its dress sense has become mixed, because we take the best from the world. Isn't it? That's what British is.
Good thing or a bad thing that British, kind of the idea of being British doesn't have a cultural aspect to it anymore?
I think it's good. All successful countries are multicultural. I think multicultural is a good thing. That's what makes a country successful.
Do you think that there is a kind of core like British culture that's distinct from the multiculturalism, or do you think there is just multiculturalism now?
It's just multiculturalism. I don't think there's a specific way, specific culture that is part of British. I think it's just being British is embracing all these different cultural differences.
The responses got even more revealing. And this is the heart of the problem. Large parts of Whitechapel no longer feel British. The area has been transformed so thoroughly that even asking about British identity feels foreign to some residents. Lauren was polite and calm, yet the discomfort her questions caused says everything. When people who live in Britain can't, or won't, define what British means beyond passport and diversity, you know something has gone badly wrong with integration. Things escalated when Lauren tried to enter the mosque area.
Wonderful. Yeah, he's literally like peeking around the corner.
Pathway.
It is a public pathway.
Well, you can't be doing it in front of the mosque.
But it's a public pathway.
So you're going to keep doing it? Is that what you're saying?
I am perfectly allowed to be filming there,
Okay.
yes.
That's no problem. No problem.
Do you plan on doing something about it? So you plan on keep doing it. I'm going to make a call. All right. Some girls taking photos of me over there. Okay.
British means you are permanent and you are resident of this country.
British culture means to be multicultural. Would you agree with that?
That's of course is 100%. Yeah.
So how do we distinct British culture? Do you think there's a unique British culture, or is it just multiculturalism?
Is a multicultural.
Just
multicultural.
British means having value, dignity, and respect. You know, everybody respect each other, and that's what London is to me. Yeah.
Now, like, for example, I'm not allowed to enter this building here because I'm a woman. Do you find that tolerant or no?
Well, you have to put scarf over your head or something, and then you can go in. I'm sure there are women that can go in there. Yes, there are a lot of religious places, particularly in Muslim religious, that you cannot do. There's some segregation.
She was told women can't go in without covering up. Her guide explained it's because men might get distracted by sexual thoughts. I want you to think about that for a second. In the middle of London, a major mosque still teaches that women are sexual distractions who must be hidden. This isn't some radical fringe mosque. This is mainstream. That attitude doesn't stay inside the building. It spills onto the streets, which helps explain rising harassment cases in these areas. The journalist was calm, but you could feel her frustration growing.
Do you consider yourself British?
Yeah, I'm British. Yeah, I'm a British person. Yes, it's all right. No problem.
Do you think that to be British, you have to have certain cultural values, speak a certain language?
No problem. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
What is British culture?
Culture is like, it's actually multicultural.
Do you think it's a blood thing, or do you think it's a culture thing, or do you think it's a passport thing?
It's a passport more. So it's not cultural. It's just, it's British. It's African. I'm British. Possibly is British. So all different colors. It's more cosmopolitan. I mean, you can look at my skin, my color. I can't say Chinese, am I? So
well, that's an interesting question. If I get a Chinese passport, does that make me Chinese?
No.
Why not?
Of course not.
Why not?
Because you're not Chinese.
Well, if I get a British passport, does that make me British? Hello.
You okay? What are you using this for?
I just make YouTube videos.
Right, okay. There have been individuals in the past who've actually come in here and they don't actually display much British value. British value is about tolerance.
I disagree.
No, British value is not about tolerance?
I don't think we should tolerate things that are counter to the British cultural values.
No, did I say that? It's about
You said it's about tolerance.
Yes, it's about tolerance to other people.
Tolerance and apathy are the signs of a dying society.
No, it's completely different. You're coming from a different objective altogether. So with regards to if you antagonise people, then we will have to report the police, because if these are the people that are coming
So if
here.
I ask the wrong question.
No.
Because you just said my words. You said my by the question.
If you antagonise individuals and causing undue harassment or distress, and that's actually the definition, not my definition. This is the definition of harassment.
I'm not asking anyone questions that doesn't want to do interviews.
I'm just informing you on that. Okay.
Everything was going on smoothly, at least until one of the Muslims Lauren was interviewing decides to call an Islamic cop. The allegation they slam in her is ridiculous.
Yes, we're quite all right. We're just doing interviews. What for? Just for YouTube. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. I mean,
We're just asking people their thoughts on British culture.
Right, okay.
do we have to move on, or do we have to stop?
No, we've actually had a complaint from the imam in the mosque.
Really?
The imam complained?
Yep. Yeah,
Oh, about what have we done?
that you're harassing the congregation here.
No, harassing. He just came out and he's quite happy to talk to
We do want to carry on. Maybe not as close to the entrance to the mosque. Maybe slightly further away. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, sure. There's just lots of people to interview.
Further down, then you might not get people. Obviously, hopefully, not calling us again.
No. Obviously, because you're right outside the mosque.
Well, we were walking around actually. We just stopped because there were.
They treated Lauren like she was the problem for asking basic questions on a public street. This two-tier reality is exhausting. British journalists get hassled for filming in their own country, while certain communities demand special treatment and get it. Whitechapel was once a classic East End area. Now it feels like a different world. The rapid demographic change, the parallel attitudes and the defensiveness when outsiders ask simple questions show how fractured parts of Britain have become.
Outside, like Tesco's or something. It might be a bit different.
All right.
But it's been lovely chatting.
It has been.
I didn't feel harassed in any way. Okay.
We're literally going to get arrested for standing outside a mosque.
Lauren's video is uncomfortable because it shows the truth many don't want to admit. Mass migration without strong integration has created places where British identity is optional or even frowned upon. The constant multiculturalism is our strength line. Sounds nice until you see areas where British culture has been pushed aside. People aren't racist for noticing this. They're honest. The real intolerance here isn't from Lauren asking questions. It's from the hostility and evasion she faced for doing so. Have you seen your own town or city change like this? What do you think British culture means today? While still deliberating on that, let's leave you with Katie's message to Europe.
And demographically, because we are already overrun, power sits with the Muslim religion, power sits with Muslim leaders.
Are you done?
And the government.
Is the nation done?
You know, I'll never say we're done because we're still here fighting. I believe there will come a time not too far from now when the British people, true British people, will have to make very difficult choices. Either they will flee eastwards to Eastern Europe with our much more stronger Christian neighbours, Poland, Hungary, those countries, or they will seek asylum, flee, try to come to America, or they will stand their ground. But certainly the time of the Crusades will need to come again if we are to return.
What do you mean by that?
We are overrun in every way, in every sense. Demographically, all births, Muslim births outnumber births to every and all other religion. This is no commentary on anyone's religion. This is just pure fact. Our mayors who control funding in our capital cities are Muslim. Mosques are not churches. A mosque is being built at the outermost, tippy-most end of Scotland and at the furthermost reaches at the end of the other side of our tiny country. This is about a takeover, and of course America understands, because you have Minneapolis, because you have Dearborn, Michigan, and I see it all the time.